Danger Rangers, and we would like to present our project about the North Atlantic right whale. Here's a list of our group members and their parts. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Kaylee, and I'm going to be giving an introduction to our species, the North Atlantic right whale, or Eubelina glacialis, one of the largest animals on Earth, growing up to 52 feet and weighing at about 140,000 pounds. They are critically endangered with fewer than 400 left, only 70 of them being female. They typically live up to 65 years, though human threats have shortened their lifespan. These whales, which are called baleen, that they use to feed on plankton. They can be found along the Atlantic coast from Canada to Florida. A fun fact is scientists use their earwax to identify their age.
Next, I will be discussing the history of the right whale. The name right whale comes from early hunters who saw them as the ideal catch due to their size, slow movement, and rich blubber, which was used for oil and other products. Centuries of relentless hunting drastically reduced their numbers, pushing the species towards extinction. This next section explores how ancient DNA reveals the genetic diversity once present in the North Atlantic whales. To understand how whale populations have changed over time, researchers extracted DNA from ancient whale bones at historic whaling sites. Their findings show that past whales were larger and had much more genetic variation than whales living today. Studying the marine mammal science analyzed DNA from historical whale bones in the eastern North Atlantic, revealing that past populations were larger and more genetically diverse. Commercial whaling led to the loss of entire lineages, and today's whales show reduced genetic diversity, which limits their recovery. The study highlights the lasting evolutionary impact of human exploitation.
Right whale biogeography. Northern right whales inhabit the North Atlantic Ocean as their name suggests. They forage and raise their young off the east coast of North America and the west coast of Europe. The maps on the right show the historical ranges of northern right whales. The legend shows the certainty of the predicted areas of habitation. Major whaling has greatly decreased these ranges. Present-day range. Due to large population decrease, range and population density have decreased. Sightings are rare, with a current population of less than 500.
The first anthropogenic activity we're going to be discussing is fishing gear entanglements. This usually happens while whales are traveling along high fishing activity routes, such as the east coast of North America. Usually, if they get caught in these fishing ropes, gill nets, or traps, it leads to injuries or deaths. We can see some examples on the right here of what those look like. Another one is ship strikes. This is a collision between an animal and a ship. Usually this affects the younger and smaller whales just because their bodies cannot take that blunt force trauma, and again leading to high injuries and deaths. Looking at some charts here, we can see an increase in ship strikes and entanglements from 2016 and projecting into 2017. The last one is climate change. This is affecting the primary food source of the whales, which is zooplankton. It is difficult to find it and distribution is very low. So this is also affecting where they are looking for proper places to breed.
There are multiple anthropogenic activities that affect northern right whales. This includes ship hits and entanglement. Another one would include climate change. Climate change causes a notable shift in ocean currents and temperature. This change in current and temperature leads to a decrease in small marine populations such as zooplankton, which is the main source for the species. As food abundance decreases due to climate change, so does the reproductive success of northern right whales. This decline in reproduction poses a serious risk to the already endangered northern Atlantic right whale population. You may ask what is being done. Even with current conservation efforts in place, the northern Atlantic right whale population continues to decline. We can see researchers use methods such as photo identification, long-term population monitoring, and demographic modeling to track both birth and death rates.
So what is the future outlook of this whale? Well, currently, honestly, the future is looking pretty bleak. Whether it's things to do with entanglement or hunters can just continue to hunt these animals, unless stronger action is taken, it just seems like it's getting head further and further towards extinction. Now, what needs to change? Besides just policy issues that can lead to less entanglement, an upgrade in technology, as well as an active proactivism in trying to prevent these animals from going extinct is needed. Without action, nothing is going to change, even if new policies are put in place. So the long-term hope is, although there is pessimism within the community, with continued monitoring, we've seen that the window of opportunity is still there to get this animal away from extinction. So with the right amount of global funding and impact, it can be done.